Usually your parent will tell you study hard, your teacher will tell you study hard, or you need to study hard for you to get this required grade, or you need to study hard for you to study hard and keep studying until you can have a good grade. But that is not all you need to have a good grade. That is not all you need to have an A. It's not every time you need to study hard. There are times why you need to study smart. And most of you as a student, you might be feeling, oh, it is until when you read overnight, or it is when you spend long hours reading, that is when you can actually get a good grade or have an A. But in reality, it's not always so, because you just have to study smart. And take for example, your lecturers can be giving you a lot of materials to read, and at the end of the day you might read everything and still fail because you didn't study smart. Now there are times in which they give us materials in school and they give us so many materials, so many textbooks to read, but at the end they might not even bring anything from the notes they give in class. So in reality, you don't really have to study hard to get the required grade. All you have to do is just to study smart. So in this video, I'll be taking you through how you can get an A without even studying hard. So stick with me and watch to the end. I'll be right back. If you are new to this channel, please kindly click on the subscribe button in order not to miss a wonderful video from me. So now let's go into what we have today: how to score an A without studying hard. First of all, I would like to share with you a personal story of what happened to me. So there was a time we had a course. There was a time I was doing a course in 300 level, and this lecturer keeps giving us materials upon materials, but to my surprise, none of those things in the materials came out. In fact, none of it came out, and we kept reading and and it's not that none of it came out, but most of the things in the material did not come out. Most of the things that came out was different entirely, and people that were concentrating on the material alone, that were reading the material alone, actually didn't really pass the course as they could. So in reality, it's not just to study hard, it's to study smart, and there are ways in which you can do this. Now the first way is to have a strategy. Now what do I mean by strategy? Is to know what to read and what not to read. It's not everything your lecturer gives you have to study. Yes, it's not everything you have to study. All you have to do is just to be strategic. Know what to read, know what not to read, and one way you can do that is to attend classes. The next point is attend classes. When you attend classes, when you keep attending classes, now when you attend class, your class is not only for you to understand what your lecturer is saying. Your class, at times I go to class just to get insights. What I mean by insights is when I go to class, I listen to what the lecturer is saying, and at times the lecturer can be giving you some hidden things, some directions, but it will not be explicit about it. All you have to do is just to take note of those things and know how you work on it, because those hints or those things that is saying in class might be a direction of what to read, and every other thing that you have in your material might be useless. So that is why it is very important for you to go to class. You don't need to go to class in order to understand alone, but to get insights about what to read and what not to read. Now the next thing you should do is to get past questions. Past questions are very important, although past questions can be useless in the sense that there are times in which the past question for a particular year, or the content in the past question for a particular year, might be different from the content they are taking in a particular course in a particular term. What I say is that now there might be topics that they took in the past that they are not taking again, and the past question contains that particular topic. So all you have to do in that instance is just to know the pattern of how the question is asked. But all you have to do is just to get a past question that is very close to maybe 2 years ago, questions of 2 years ago or a year ago. Just get past questions. And now let me talk about two exams. We have the multiple choice exam, and we have the essay exam. Take for example the multiple choice exam. If your exam is a multiple choice exam, all you have to do is just study past questions, because there's a particular course in which they released all the material. They gave so many materials, but To be honest, I didn't read them. All I did was that I just got the past question, the whole past question for the year, and I studied everything, and everything came out like word for word, like life and direct. So that in that instant, I didn't study hard. I didn't really even study that course like that, but I still had an A because I studied smart. So just get past questions that can guide you through. And if it's an essay exam, if there's another course in which I studied just the past question and the past question came out life and direct, even without going through all the notes they gave us in class. So at times you just have to study smart. You don't have to study that hard to get here. So get past questions. And the next is a very important thing. You just have to study smart. That's the next point. Study smart. There are two ways that I'll recommend, and I'll share others in my other videos. The first way you can study smart is to space your learning, and this is what we call spaced repetition. Space your learning is not every time you have to study like 2 to 6 hours, 7 hours. At times you just have to study maybe like 20 minutes, go for a break, come back, go for a break, or just space the learning. And when you space your learning, maybe in a week you can choose to read maybe 3 times in a week or 4 times in a week, and the rest of the day is for any other thing you want to do. Just space your learning and you won't be choked. And when you are not choked, you'll be stress free, and everything will go on. And by the time your exam is even on the way, you don't have to stress yourself too much to read. Yeah, you don't have to stretch yourself too much to read. Just space your learning and go with the flow. Now the next thing is to take breaks. Breaks are very important. At times I take breaks at times. Even in fact, when we have exam, I watch movies when we have exam, because I feel okay, it's not because at that point I don't want to put too much pressure on myself. I just want to have a little bit of fun because I've read in the past. So I have a little bit of fun and I read. I mixed both together in order not to stress myself out, because if I keep reading like consistently like that, I might end up having 0 because I stress myself a lot. So you just have to take it easy on yourself, and if you follow these ways very well, you'll be able to get your A without even stressing yourself or studying hard as much as you were. So if you want, you can watch other videos that can help you get the required grade you want to get stress-free without studying that hard. So thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.